Right now, most people use NotebookLM like a basic chatbot. Upload a file, ask one question, click around, and hope something useful appears. But that's leaving a ton of power on the table, because NotebookLM isn't just chat. It's closer to a full research intelligence system, built to find, organize, and support decisions, not just answer random questions. You get autonomous sourcing that pulls data for you, validation workflows so your research stays reliable, and generative outputs that turn sources into decks and visuals fast. So in this video, I'll walk you through the complete advanced workflow, so you're using NotebookLM better than 99% of people. And by the end, you'll know exactly how it's meant to be used. And if you want the exact prompts, I'll drop them on argots.com. Let's start.
First, head to the NotebookLM website. You'll see your notebook list, or a blank first-time screen. And yeah, you can create a new notebook immediately. But here's the critical detail most people miss. Notebooks should be topic-specific. Don't name one research or general notes. Name it like a project, competitive analysis Q1, or AI video gen research. That tiny choice improves results because your sources stay focused. Now click the plus icon to create it. This takes you straight to the source upload screen. And this is the moment where your output quality gets decided. The common mistake? Uploading 1 or 2 files with zero strategy. Instead, step back and map the full information landscape. Where does your info live? PDFs, YouTube, websites, Google Docs. NotebookLM gets powerful when you combine formats into a connected web of sources, not a pile of isolated documents. And I'll show you exactly how to execute that multi-format strategy like a pro later in the video. Because once you nail sources, everything else becomes easier. So stick with me. Cool, quick example. I'm building a notebook for AI alignment. Hit escape, name it clearly, AI alignment research. Now here's the feature that changes everything, and it's pretty new. There used to be only fast research, good, but limited. Now you can click the drop-down and switch to deep research. I'll type a tight query, AI alignment and safety challenges, then hit submit. And watch what happens next. This is where NotebookLM stops being a chatbot. NotebookLM launches an agent that researches the topic for you. Not just keyword matching, it analyzes what you asked, finds sources, checks relevance, changes strategy to fill gaps, and synthesizes everything into a report. The output is the best part. It can discover dozens of relevant sources, generate a detailed research report, and then import the most useful sources straight into your notebook, already organized, ready to use. This matters because most people waste hours doing this manually, searching, judging quality, uploading one by one. Deep research compresses that into minutes, and it often surfaces sources you wouldn't find on your own. Okay, done. Now I've got a curated list of citations imported automatically, plus a full research report added as its own source. That's our foundation. One catch, some sources won't import, usually paywalls. Don't delete them one by one. Scroll down and hit Remove All Failed Sources. Clean, fast, done. Now we've got solid sources. But before you ask a single question, there's one step that 9 out of 10 people skip, and it's the difference between smart and misleading. Next, source validation. If you skip it, you can build a whole workflow on bad inputs without realizing. NotebookLM is great at reducing hallucinations because it grounds answers in your sources. That only works when your sources are solid, reliable, current, and not all the same kind of content. If your sources are outdated, heavily biased, or you've mixed primary research with pure opinion, NotebookLM can still sound confident because it's repeating what you fed it. So, we validate first. Here's my framework for every notebook. Go to the chat in the center, and before any topic questions, we run 3 quick checks. Takes minutes, saves hours. First check, ask for a table of every source. Publication date, who wrote it, and what type it is. Primary, secondary, or opinion. This tells you what you're really working with. If most sources are from years ago on a fast-moving topic, you need newer material. And if it's mostly opinion with no primary work, that's a red flag. Fix it before you go further. When the table appears, scan it fast. You want a healthy spread, credible authors, recent publication dates, and a mix of strong primary research plus solid secondary analysis. Second check, ask which sources are cited or referenced the most by the rest of your notebook. Those are your foundation, the ones you'll prioritize when you need the most reliable backbone. This is how you separate the core from the nice-to-have. It makes later filtering faster and your answers sharper. Third check, ask for the dominant perspective or bias in your top sources, especially the biggest ones. For controversial or evolving topics, you want multiple angles, not one echo chamber. Do these 3 checks and you instantly know your source quality before you build on it.
Now that we've validated, the next step is the one most people ignore, then wonder why NotebookLM feels generic. Configuration. In the top right, click here. This opens the settings that control how NotebookLM responds. First, set your conversational goal. You've got default, learning guide, or custom. For this notebook, I'm choosing custom, and I'll define a role. Research analyst focused on AI safety and alignment debates. That tells NotebookLM to stop guessing and start answering from a consistent lens. Instead of generic answers, you get responses framed for your use case, like an analyst briefing you, not a chatbot summarizing at surface level. Next, response length. You can pick default, longer, or shorter. For real research work, I usually choose longer. I want analysis, not a 2-line summary. Hit save. These settings apply to every chat in this notebook. You set them once, forget about them, and they quietly improve everything from here on. Most people stay in default mode and keep getting default quality answers. Configuring gives you targeted, role-specific responses optimized for what you're actually trying to do. Now, here's where the pros separate from everyone else. We're going to work with sources strategically, instead of asking every question with everything selected. Let's do source filtering. This is one of those small habits that instantly makes you look like a power user. On the left, you've got your source list, and every file has a checkbox. The most common mistake is leaving everything checked all the time, because when you ask a question with all sources selected, NotebookLM tries to synthesize across every document. That dilutes your answer. It forces the model to generalize, so you get a vague, surface-level summary instead of a deep, precise response. Here's the fix. Let's say I want to focus on existential risk. If I keep unrelated stuff checked, like mechanistic interpretability, I'm forcing conflicting topics into the same answer. So first, uncheck everything. Then I select only the few sources that actually contain the details I care about, like the technical papers with the core logic. And now, to the model, everything else basically doesn't exist. Now I ask a precise question, like, how do these agents handle memory management? And because we constrained the context, the answer comes out sharper, more technical, and free of random, irrelevant fluff. This is surgical control over your research. You can keep one master notebook with tons of sources, and by toggling checkboxes, you instantly create a focused sub-notebook for any specific question. All right, now that you can control your sources, we can start generating outputs that are actually useful. We'll start with Audio Overview, one of NotebookLM's signature features. Over on the right, in the Studio panel, click Audio Overview. But don't just smash Generate. Most people do that and accept whatever random conversation the AI spits out. If you want something you can actually use for work, you need to control it first. This instruction box is where you tell NotebookLM what to focus on, what tone to use, and how long the overview should be. Think of it like directing a podcast, because that's basically what you're creating. For this notebook, I don't need a balanced overview of everything. I want one specific outcome, the key debates and disagreements we identified earlier, because that's what moves the research forward. So I'll write, focus only on the main disagreements between AI safety researchers on alignment approaches. Explain each view clearly. Keep it under 15 minutes. Use accessible language. Avoid unnecessary jargon. Above the instruction box are two settings most people miss: format and length. Format isn't just deep dive. You can switch to brief or critique, where it acts like a strict editor looking for gaps. But since our goal is disagreements, I'm switching format to debate. That tells the hosts to actively surface conflicting perspectives instead of just having a friendly summary chat. For length, you'll typically see short or default. I'll keep default. It usually lands around a solid 10 minutes, which is long enough to get substance without drifting off topic. Now click Generate. NotebookLM will build a custom podcast with two hosts based on your sources and your exact instructions. And the difference is massive. Default audio tries to cover everything equally. Customized audio becomes a targeted research brief, focused on what you actually need to understand. Quick pro tip: regenerate without hesitation. Treat the first output like a rough draft. Too technical? Tell it to simplify. Wasted time on history? Tell it to cut the intro and focus on current debates. The best users iterate until it matches the goal perfectly. While that's generating, let's switch gears, because NotebookLM can also create visuals directly from your sources. Next up, the brand new Infographic tool, powered by Nano Banana Pro. In the Studio panel, click Infographic. You'll see three controls: orientation, landscape, portrait, square; detail level, concise, detailed; and a custom instruction box. These three choices decide whether you get something usable or something messy. For most use cases, I recommend landscape plus standard detail. Detailed can introduce small text errors on complex topics, and concise can oversimplify. Standard hits the sweet spot. Now we direct it. I'll write, create a professional infographic that maps the different AI alignment approaches and the key researchers tied to each one. Keep the design clean. Then hit Generate. In a couple minutes, it comes back as a fully designed infographic, pulling directly from your sources. Layout, hierarchy, diagrams, charts, stuff you'd normally need a designer for. That's the power move. One warning: if you crank detail too high, you may see minor spelling or text glitches, so check it quickly. Standard mode is usually the cleanest. And here's the result: clean, professional, and actually useful. It maps the approaches, ties in key names, and it's sourced. If you want a different style or emphasis, regenerate with tighter instructions. Okay, visuals handled. Next, we'll generate the other new output that saves you hours: a full slide deck built from your sources. Click Slide Deck. You'll see two types: a detailed deck with full text, good as a standalone doc, or presenter slides, which stay visual with minimal text while you speak. For most presentations, presenter slides is better, cleaner, less wall of text. For length, you usually choose short for a quick 10-slide summary or default for a fuller deck. I'm choosing short. Now the prompt. I'll write, create a deck explaining the three main schools of thought in AI alignment for a technical audience. Focus on key differences and trade-offs. Then generate. Here's why this is so powerful. Normally, you read sources, extract points, design slides, hunt visuals, and structure the narrative. NotebookLM can do that automatically, using your sources as the backbone. And just like audio, you can regenerate with different instructions if the first version isn't right. Shorter, more technical, more visual, different emphasis. Iteration is the unlock. All right, deck is ready. Look at this. Clean, professional, clear hierarchy. Slide 1 introduces the topic. Slide 2 frames the three approaches. Then each section breaks down trade-offs with visuals pulled from the sources. This is presentation ready. Perfect. Our slide deck is done. And now the audio overview we generated earlier should be ready too. So let's open it up. You'll see a simple podcast-style player with two hosts, debating the topic based on our instructions. I'm going to play a quick clip. Listen for how it sticks to the disagreement angle.
Welcome to the debate. Today, we are examining the core disagreements among AI safety researchers regarding alignment approaches, structured specifically to help emerging AI governance regulators.
Notice the tone. It jumps straight into the stakes and frames the tension between approaches, because we told it to. That's why instruction first beats generate and pray. Audio is awesome for the big picture, but when you need precision, you use the chat in the center panel. This is where you interrogate the sources like a researcher. The key is asking specific questions, not vague ones. Don't ask, "What does this say about alignment?" Ask something structured, so the answer comes back structured. For example, compare the 3 main technical approaches to AI alignment and list the trade-off each one makes. That forces clarity. And see those little numbers in the response? Those are citations. Click one, and NotebookLM highlights the exact passage in the source, so you can verify it instantly instead of trusting vibes. Now, if you want something more engaging than audio, NotebookLM also has video overview, and it just got a big upgrade with custom visual styles. Let's try it. Video overview creates a narrated explainer with AI-generated visuals based on your sources. Basically audio overview, but with slide-style visuals that match the explanation. You'll see 2 options: explainer for a deeper walkthrough, or brief for a quick summary. For most use cases, explainer wins, because it actually gives context. Below that, visual style controls powered by Nano Banana Pro. You can choose visual style. Auto select is fine, but I prefer custom, so the visuals match my brand and don't look random. I'll type clean, modern design, blue and white palette, minimalist graphics, professional typography. And just like audio, you can also guide what the host focuses on. Now click Generate. It'll render narration, visuals, and transitions into a full video based on the sources and the style direction you gave it. And remember, style prompts like this live on argots.com. All right, let's play a short clip.
All right, let's get right into it. There's this huge debate happening right now in the world of AI safety. And it's not about if we should control super smart AI. Everyone agrees on that.
Look at this. It's not random stock footage. It actually follows the blue and white minimalist style. The narration lines up with the visuals, and the structure tracks the logic of the sources. This is perfect for education, presentations, or shareable explainers. All right, let's wrap up the studio panel with the remaining tools: reports, data tables, flashcards, quiz, and mind maps. These aren't extras. They're what turn raw info into an actual knowledge system. Start with reports. Click it, and you'll see a few options. First, the briefing doc. This generates a multi-page executive-style summary of your knowledge base with key insights pulled from your sources. I'll generate one now. Boom. Clean structure, key findings summarized, and it's grounded in the sources. This is perfect when you need a quick report foundation without starting from a blank page. And you can export it to Google Docs, edit it, and ship it. Think of this as NotebookLM doing the first draft, so you can spend time refining, not assembling. But here's what most people miss. You're not limited to the defaults. Click Create Your Own, and now you can specify the exact structure, style, and tone you want. For example, I'll ask for a technical white paper, analyze the 3 main alignment approaches, compare methodologies, and include future research directions, written for researchers. Then generate. And notice the difference. This isn't generic. It follows the structure we asked for, and it just did a huge chunk of the drafting work in seconds. You still edit, but the heavy lift is gone. Now the sleeper feature, data table. This turns messy sources into a spreadsheet without manual extraction. Prompt it like an analyst. Compare the 3 alignment approaches: columns, approach, core idea, key researchers, strengths, failure modes, and add citations. Generate, boom, structured and traceable. This is how you go from research to decision-ready in minutes. Export the table into your spreadsheet or use in your doc, deck, or wiki, and you still have the evidence trail back to sources. Next, flashcards and quiz. Flashcards are instant internal training. Generate a set on one topic, for instance, mechanistic interpretability, key ideas plus pitfalls. Do a sanity check with few answers and level of difficulty by default. And if anything looks off, tighten scope or regenerate. Quiz is the same idea but interactive. Perfect for onboarding. Choose the number of questions and the level of difficulty. Test adding a topic, for example, the key disagreements. Then see the results. you can reuse it in a team session. And because both pull from your uploads, you're not studying generic AI trivia, you're learning your team's actual knowledge base. So you're not memorizing random general knowledge, you're learning the exact data you just collected. For students, researchers, or training teams, this is insanely practical. And finally, the mind map. Click it and NotebookLM generates an interactive diagram of how the key concepts connect across your sources. You can click any node to expand into subtopics, or click again to trigger a detailed chat response about that exact idea. It's basically navigation plus analysis in one view. This is huge for visual learners because it helps you spot connections between files you'd miss if you read everything linearly. And that's the takeaway. Don't limit yourself to chat and audio. These tools turn info into a system. Now let me deliver on the promise from the beginning. Source strategy. How to mix formats so your notebook becomes a real research engine. Most people upload one type and stop. NotebookLM can take PDFs, websites, YouTube, audio files, Google Docs, and plain text. The power comes from mixing formats: papers for rigor, videos for clarity, blogs for industry context, podcasts for conversational insight. That's how you get a 360-degree view. Let me show you. Click Add Source, choose YouTube, paste a video link, like a recent conference lecture. NotebookLM pulls the transcript and adds it as a source automatically. Now you can ask synthesis questions across formats, like, compare the technical approaches in the papers with the practical concerns raised in the lecture. That's insight you don't get analyzing each format separately. This works because each format contributes something different. Advanced users mix formats intentionally to build comprehensive knowledge bases, while typical users stay stuck in one lane. And here's a last quick security pro tip. Before you share a notebook in a company, click Share. Keep notebook access restricted so it doesn't turn into an accidental link leak. Add a group, not individuals, and choose what viewers can actually see. For most teams, set chat only, so people can query the knowledge without seeing the full source list and notes. Only switch to full notebook for true collaborators. That one toggle is basically least privilege for NotebookLM. Questions for everyone, raw materials for the few. So here's the full workflow you just saw. Deep research to build sources fast. Validation to check quality and gaps. Configuration for targeted responses. Filtering for precision. Then content generation. Audio, infographics, slide decks, plus mind maps to organize. That's professional-level NotebookLM. The difference between casual user and pro user isn't knowing features exist. It's running the full pipeline in order. Discover, validate, configure, generate, organize. If this helped, click into the next video. I break down how to use Gemini in a pro level. Same meta skills apply: source quality, structured prompting, and repeatable workflows. And if you want my exact prompt cards plus checklists, they're on argets.com. Thanks for watching. See you next time.